This is BTV Business Television.
Welcome to BTV Business Television. I'm Taylor Tone.
And I'm Jessica Kachachak. On today's episode, we're all in on technology and AI, part of the future for investors. And believe it or not, Taylor, this includes industries like mining.
When it comes to electrical application, there's really no choice, and copper is the metal.
From AI-powered trading platforms to blockchain disruption and trillion-dollar tech giants like NVIDIA, we break down how technology is transforming these global disruptors.
And Taylor, can you believe that over $200 billion was invested in AI startups alone last year? This isn't just the future, it's happening now.
We'll cover the trends, the numbers, and the companies leading the charge so you can invest with insight, not just instinct.
And we've spent tens of millions of dollars with NVIDIA, and our AI business is growing.
Validation is a new category, and Neat is the leader in that category.
Now is crypto's time.
We'll decode the data and follow the money, all ahead on BTV Business Television. NVIDIA is a technology company that designs and sells graphic processing units, system-on-a-chip, and application programming interfaces, all on a massive scale. NVIDIA is now the first company to ever have a market cap of over $4 trillion US. That's a historic first, beating out established powerhouses like Apple, Microsoft, and Alphabet. The question ahead is, will NVIDIA be the first to $5 trillion?
Baby boomers were reluctant to go buy Bitcoin, so HIVE became its proxy. And especially with all the gold investors, all of a sudden, this became the darling.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
NVIDIA's technology is central to the development of AI and machine learning. Despite NVIDIA's rapid growth, its earnings are still rising, and fast. In the second quarter, NVIDIA's revenues were up 122% year over year. And if that wasn't good enough, they were up a whopping 15% over the previous quarter. NVIDIA is quickly becoming synonymous with returning growth to investors.
Northstar Clean Technologies is scaling a patented procedure to reprocess asphalt shingles into high-value products. They're tapping into a multi-billion-dollar market while delivering strong environmental and economic returns.
The problem of shingle waste going to landfill is absolutely huge. 16.5 million tons across North America is destined for landfill every year. So Northstar Clean Technologies is a clean technology waste to value company that takes asphalt shingles that are going to landfill, either from manufactured waste or post-consumer waste. And we take the asphalt shingles and split them up into their individual component parts as a part of a circular economy solution for onward sale. An asphalt shingle is basically composed of about 50% sand or aggregate, about 25% fiber, and 25% asphalt. And so what our process does in the facility right behind us takes the shingle tile and splits it up into those three component parts. Resell those into a marketplace. The shingle reprocessing market is huge. The 16.5 million tons would be equivalent to Northstar building 400 Northstar facilities across North America. We have proven that that is completely circular, so it can actually go right back in to shingle manufacturing.
Their business model includes 5 distinct revenue streams: tipping fees, product sales of reprocessed asphalt, fiber, and aggregate, and eventually carbon credits.
Northstar is absolutely at the inflection point of value delivery as we look at this business. If you're a clean tech business or a waste to value business, there's really 3 critical steps that you have. So the first one is to develop the technology. The second one is to pilot that technology. And the third one is to build the first commercial facility. So we've developed the technology, we had the pilot plant in Vancouver, and the third thing is delivering the first commercial facility, that's right behind us. So we are absolutely at the inflection point of this business. The most important thing for this year is our ruthless focus on the operation behind us. We have commissioned this facility and now we're ramping up the operation, and our 2 follow-on facilities are developing both in Ontario and in the US. The value proposition for the business, in our opinion, and for shareholders is huge.
With proven technology, a clear path to scale, and demand for sustainable solutions growing rapidly, Northstar Clean Technologies is positioned to lead a multi-billion-dollar market opportunity, delivering value for shareholders while driving real environmental impact.
The success of HIVE Digital and its subsidiary, Buzz HPC, has always been tied to the fortunes of cryptocurrencies. With the support for artificial intelligence, they're helping shape tomorrow's digital world.
When HIVE first went public, it became the proxy, in particular for baby boom investors. Baby boomers were reluctant to go buy Bitcoin. So HIVE became its proxy. Especially with all the gold investors, all of a sudden, this became the darling. And that strategy is so important for us to maintain by having Bitcoin on our balance sheet. So we move up and down with the price of Bitcoin, and we give investors a proxy opportunity.
Really, high-performance computing became the next logical step, because the common denominator for high-performance computing is really around power. This is super important to investors because we're really catalyzing AI. We're democratizing access to the compute power that AI needs to grow and evolve. And we do this through our data centers and our supercompute clusters based on NVIDIA GPUs. We've hit that growth ramp really to scale when you talk about revenue, and we operate at an extremely efficient EBITDA margin. The other thing is that we've become a dominant force in the local markets that we operate in. We are one of the larger providers in Canada and one of the larger providers in Sweden.
HIVE Digital was one of the first publicly traded crypto mining companies to focus on using 100% green energy, setting an early example in the blockchain industry.
We're in Sweden, we're in New Brunswick, we're in Quebec. We're now expanding to increase our footprint in Paraguay, and it's all hydroelectricity. So I'm very, very thrilled about how we're positioned and what we're going to do forward. And our goal is to have 2% of the world's Bitcoin production.
The last pillar is really around our solutions. So it's not good enough that we deliver just the infrastructure for compute and AI, but we deliver white glove services, we deliver 365 SLA-based support, and we provide a unique experience to all our customers when they use our platform.
HIVE has this unique experience in using what's called GPU chips. And those GPU chips used to be mining other coins, and now we're using them for AI. And we've spent tens of millions of dollars with NVIDIA, and our AI business is growing.
Growing while still remaining independent.
Sovereignty is important to us because we operate in that local market. And we're immune to foreign influence and foreign policy. We own and operate our own infrastructure and platform and digital operation.
With a strong foundation in blockchain and a bold vision for AI, HIVE and Buzz are well positioned to lead the next wave of digital infrastructure growth. We'll decode the data and follow the money, all ahead on BTV Business Television.
Microsoft built a data center recently for $500 million, and that single data center needed more than 2,000 tons of copper.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Crypto is here to stay, and one Canadian company is leading the charge. Big Digital Assets, through its subsidiary Netcoins, runs a regulated, publicly traded crypto exchange built on trust and transparency.
Big digital assets gives you three ways to play. One, primary focus on Netcoins, a crypto trading platform that's been growing year over year and will do over $1 billion worth of transactions this year. Blockchain Intelligence Group, which services a global market for compliant first crypto transactions, reporting and monitoring on chain. And TerraZero, which we believe is going to be the future of Web3. It's going to be an engaging platform allowing both brands and individuals to bring themselves into what we consider to be the future of Web3. Netcoin's growth has been tremendous over the last 3 years. We've seen trading volumes move from 235 million to approximately $1 billion this year, which we're on pace for. We have 60 crypto assets available on the platform. We've enhanced our staking services. We're looking into lending services in Canada as well. So we see a lot of opportunities for revenue growth and customer acquisition growth. So Netcoin's platform is safe and secure. Netcoins works with a number of different partners from cloud, infrastructure, and security perspectives to ensure that that is true. We also are audited. That's part of our trust center that's available for investors to take a look at and download for themselves.
Excitement is growing. In Q4 of this year, Netcoin's Canadian trading volume was up over 130% year over year.
Now is crypto's moment. We're seeing tremendous growth in our revenue streams, tremendous growth in our products and services, market expansion. And now that we're seeing significant government support from both a regulatory and a business perspective in North America, now is crypto's time.
For investors looking at the future of crypto in Canada, Big Digital Assets is a name to consider.
We're going to need a lot of copper. Why? Well, AI data centers, electrification, and modern infrastructure are all set to push global demand to nearly double by 2035. And with current supply lagging, Kodiak Copper is positioned to help power the world's electrified future.
Microsoft built a data center recently for $500 million, and that single data center needed more than 2,000 tons of copper, and that's only one. At current count, there are more than 1,000 data centers around the world, and of course growing rapidly. What makes copper essential is really its conductivity. Copper is the second most conductive element, and only silver has higher conductivity, and silver, of course, is orders of magnitude more expensive. So when it comes to electrical application, there's really no choice, and copper is the metal.
With demand at an all-time high, how is the industry keeping up?
I would argue it's not, because there simply haven't been many copper discoveries recently. In fact, in the last decade or so, there has not been a very large copper discovery at all. So the discovery pipeline is at an all-time low. We are focused on the MPD Copper Gold Porphyry project located in a mining district in southern British Columbia. And after 6 years of systematic drilling, we have just come out with a maiden resource, which is a very important milestone for the project. What I'm most excited about with our MPD project is just the potential for growth. All the zones comprised in this resource are still wide open, so we have a very good chance of growing that resource significantly with more drilling. And also important to keep in mind, the resource is on 7 zones, the 7 first targets we worked on, and over and above those 7 zones, there are at current count some 20 further targets with the promise for more discoveries, more mineralized zones, and more exploration upside.
With copper demand surging and new discoveries becoming rare, Kodiak offers investors a chance to get in early in one of Canada's premier copper gold districts.
Thane Stenner of Stenner Wealth Management is back with more insights. Today, what advice would you give to someone who's about to experience a large liquidity event, like the sale of a business?
There's certain steps that an investor or somebody that goes through a liquidity event should be taking in order to optimize their proceeds. First thing is you got to make sure you have a great accountant. Second thing is you should probably have a tax lawyer involved to make sure it's structurally correct. And then thirdly, trying to engage with a wealth advisor that understands the sophisticated levels of what you're now encroaching upon. You're now going into a bigger level of liquid capital. Typically, it also takes them about 6 months to settle into their new reality. They've gone from business wealth to liquid wealth, and that transition takes some time. There's a lot of work actually to do in the first 6 months after a liquidity event and even prior to a liquidity event. So getting professional advice, guidance is particularly important at this stage.
NVIDIA has made itself known for rapid growth at breakneck speed. Earnings and market cap show this giant is here to stay. It is dominating the emerging AI sector, selling GPUs that power OpenAI's ChatGPT and fueling Microsoft's ambitious AI plans. The last of whom purchased 485,000 GPUs from NVIDIA in 2024. It's always worth taking a look at one of the world's most important companies when it's aligned with the development of the future.
We'll decode the data and follow the money all ahead on BTV Business Television.
Today we count 8 of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world who are customers of ours.
We'll be right back. You're watching BTV.
Technology isn't just an industry anymore, it's the backbone of the global economy. Today, the global tech sector is worth over $5.2 trillion, larger than the economies of Germany and the UK combined. Big tech alone now represent nearly 30% of the S&P's 500 total market value. That means almost 1 out of every 3 investment dollars are tied to technology. The impact goes beyond Wall Street. The tech sector employs more than 12 million people in the U.S. alone, driving innovation in everything from artificial intelligence and cloud computing to renewable energy and healthcare. But the real impact is in our daily lives. AI is diagnosing diseases faster than our doctors, optimizing transportation networks, and even helping scientists design new materials for clean energy. Technology isn't just reshaping industries, it's reshaping how the world works, communicates, and invests. The numbers don't lie. Tech isn't just big, it's maybe the biggest story in business today.
Digital validation is not something we hear about every day, but in heavily regulated industries like biotech and pharmaceuticals, it is essential and required for every business. Neat streamlines this process for users using their sophisticated software platform. It has worked so well that the majority of the largest life science companies are now using it.
Neat is a software company that designs and develops validation software for life science manufacturers to help them to digitize their validation processes. And that validation is testing their systems, their processes, to ensure that they will consistently manufacture safe and effective products. And they're regulated by bodies such as the FDA and the European Medicines Agencies. Today we count 8 of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world who are customers of ours. As an example, Merck is one of our lead customers. They have over 12,000 users on the system across 27 sites worldwide.
Owing to the widespread industry adoption, Neat saw their stock price double in 2024, and in the second quarter of 2025, announced that revenues had increased 32% year over year.
Validation is a new category, and Neat is the leader in that category. And today, it's very low penetration rates. We estimate that market to be a $2 billion TAM, just beginning to get moving. We think there's huge growth in this area over the coming years. We're totally an innovator in this market, and the business value for us is ease of use, saving 50% of the man hours associated with the documentation processes, saving 50% of the cycle times associated with these processes, but also, and most importantly, right first time compliance for these companies so that they can meet the regulations of such as the FDA.
It serves a life science sector that has vast opportunities for growth, and they've cemented themselves as a primary player in their industry. In 2024 alone, over $220 billion poured into AI startups. And the global fintech investments crossed $500 billion mark for the first time.
Jessica, that's not just hype. That's a shift in how wealth is built, scaled, and sustained.
Absolutely. From AI-driven portfolios to digital assets reshaping global markets, one thing is clear: the future is moving fast, and money is moving with it. For BTV, I'm Jessica Katrachak.
And I'm Taylor Tone. You can follow us right here at Business Television and be part of a growing community that's turning insight into action. And until next time, may your portfolio prosper.